Pure Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is Bitcoin.
Use case for Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is...
You hear everywhere from Mark Cuban to Bill Gates, and even this guy.
Криптовалюты выпускаются неограниченным кругом анонимных субъектов.
But what exactly is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency and is among 700 other cryptocurrencies, ranging from the most popular Bitcoin to other coins like Kanye, which may or may not be a
going down
joke.
as a legend, whether or not you like me or not.
Wikipedia defines cryptocurrencies as the following.
A cryptocurrency is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange using cryptography to secure the transactions, to control the creation of additional units, and to verify the transfer of assets.
Okay, that's a lot to understand, but it's okay if you don't. Everything will be explained if needed. As the price of Bitcoin goes higher and higher, now at an outstanding $8,000 US, more and more people are paying attention. But there is an argument for whether Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are for the better or the worse. From people like Diamond, who's the CEO of JP Morgan Chase.
What's the bottom line?
I could care less about Bitcoin. I don't know why I said anything about it.
To people like Gates, who's the richest man in the world.
How cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place. And of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient.
There are two major concerns for Bitcoin: the Bitcoin bubble and the illegal trade. The first concern is that the Bitcoin bubble will pop. The idea is that Bitcoin will fail and crash because they believe the coin is driven by speculation. This means that people are only using the currency because they think it will continue to grow and that they can make money off of it. So they believe the currency has no actual value and will not make it into the future because of this. The other concern is the untraceable aspect surrounding Bitcoin. Bitcoin only uses numbers and addresses, so there are no names attached to the coin or wallet you are using. This makes the coin favorable for criminals. It has been used on sites such as the Silk Road. No, not that one. This one. It is an illegal online marketplace, so think eBay plus drugs. This site operates strictly in Bitcoin. It's sites like these that give Bitcoin a bad rep, but don't worry, Silk Road and other sites like it have been taken down. Poor Bitcoin just wants to be helpful, but people just see this facade. I'm here to help break that facade down. There are plenty of good things about Bitcoin that people are just ignoring because of the bad publicity it gets. Let's give Bitcoin a chance and look at all the benefits. What are the benefits? For first, Bitcoin is a more stable currency in many countries and is immune to hyperinflation. Let's look at one example on how Bitcoin was used to help a struggling country's economy.
Okay, Naomi, Bitcoin, what is it?
It's a currency that the government can't control, so it's incredibly valuable for people, especially those in Venezuela who have a dictatorial regime. I think that a lot of Americans dismiss it because we just don't have as much corruption in our government.
This is from Fox Business, and they're talking about how Bitcoin is helping ordinary people in Venezuela. Let's hear more of what they have to say.
But that's the point. It's in the U.S., it's people like you or the two of us that will buy Bitcoin and be interested in Bitcoin. But in Venezuela, they're using Bitcoin because it's practical. It's putting food in their cabinets.
Bitcoin is practical because it's immune to hyperinflation. In his article, The Future of Bitcoin, James K. Darlington III says this: the nature of Bitcoin makes it largely immune to hyperinflation. First, it is regulated by the community. Bitcoin is considered a commodity currency. New coins can enter the exchange through mining, but ultimately there is a finite number of Bitcoins that can exist. This causes Bitcoin to appreciate in value. He also says that Bitcoin is decentralized, so it's protected against supply shock and the woes of the money supply theory. Venezuela is just one example. Darlington uses Brazil as one of his examples, but it just shows that Bitcoin is more than just a bubble. Now let's go back to our friends at Fox Business because they have some important things to say about how Bitcoin is used.
You say that compared to these, Bitcoin is a way to escape government. What do you mean?
Well, definitely. Bitcoin is a currency that isn't controlled by government at all, so you're able to skirt regulations with it. Now, in America, you see people using Bitcoin on the black market because they can escape regulation. You see them buying mainly drugs. But in Venezuela, these people are also escaping regulation, but their black market consists of groceries, of basic medicine, of things for their survival.
For their survival, how I like to look at Bitcoin is it's a tool that could be used for the better or the worse. Elon Musk has something to say about this.
It will be useful for legal and illegal transactions. Otherwise, it would have no value as a use of for a legal transaction, because you have to have a legal to illegal bridge.
Yeah. So just like any currency, Bitcoin can be used for good or bad purchases. This is another reason not to disregard Bitcoin. And even those who do disregard Bitcoin, they all can agree on something: blockchain. What is blockchain? Well, its first application was Bitcoin, so that's why it's going to be very important. We'll use this infographic to help us understand it. Okay, so A wants to send money to B. So they send the money, and this transaction is represented as a block. The block gets broadcasted, and everyone on that network looks at the block. They approve the block, make sure everything's all right, and then that block's added to the chain, and then the money gets sent to A to B. Using this method is extremely secure and protected, and that's why applications like Bitcoin use it. Our good pal Jamie can't even disagree with this. And remember what he said about Bitcoin.
What's the bottom line?
I could care less about Bitcoin. I don't know why I said anything about it.
But he says this right after.
The blockchain is a technology, which is a good technology. We actually use it. It will be used for a lot of different things. God bless the blockchain.
So people who don't even like Bitcoin know the importance of the application behind it. Now, to summarize everything, do people use Bitcoin for illegal trade? Yeah, they do, but that's with all currencies. And is Bitcoin driven by speculation? It can be, but the reason people believe that is because they think people are only using it to invest and make money, when that's not the case, as we saw. Bitcoin's actually being used to help people out in struggling countries like Venezuela and Brazil. I hope that after hearing and seeing all this, you have a better understanding of Bitcoin and what it does. For the better or the worst. I guess we can use this as an example of the old time saying of not judging a book by its cover. If you'd like to learn more about Bitcoin and its uses, then look in the description below for some links to articles I personally liked and I read and helped me understand the whole situation.